By overfishing, people are completely disregarding fishing limits set by the government and the UN. Moreover, the ocean's population are depleting at an alarming rate due to the overfishing of certain species, therefore degrading the biodiversity of the largest ecosystem in the world.
Efforts to stop overfishing are mostly ineffective as billions of international dollars support this industry, making it extremely hard to cut down. Furthermore, current rules and regulations are not strong enough to limit fishing capacity to a sustainable level. Illegal fishing plays a vital role in overfishing. Illegal fishing counts for 20% of the world's catch. These illegal fisheries don't follow any regulations whatsoever on sustainable fishing and are unregulated. Finally, governments are continuing subsidizing their fleets, with that allowing overfishing to occur.
The coral reef, the most biodiverse and crucial ecosystem in the world, will be highly impacted if overfishing continues to occur at this rate. The biodiversity will be completely eliminated due to the overfishing of valuable species in the coral reef. This will cause a severe disruption in the feeding relationships of species, eventually causing the reef to completely die out. Not only will overfishing have a direct impact on the ecosystem, it will also influence the consumption patterns of many individuals around the world. In fact, starting from 2010, fish has provided 2.9 billion people with almost 20% of their protein intake.
The problems with overfishing don't end there. The big question is, how do you cut down on a business that gives 1.2 billion people their main source of protein? It sounds nearly impossible. Additionally, overfishing puts forth another appalling fact on the table. Fishers who use fishing nets commonly use nets that are as big as 23,000 meters squared. That is approximately the same size as 4 professional-sized football pitches. As a result of using such massive fishing nets, a tremendous amount of bycatch is caught, which is marine life that is incidentally caught. For shrimp fishermen, bycatch reaches its most alarming rates. A common shrimp fisherman will lay waste to 80 or 90% of what they catch. Those rates alone can lead to the extinction of hundreds of valued species. In 2008, fishing limits were put on the bluefin tuna, as its population was crawling into its grave. Scientists suggested that 10,000 tons of tuna be caught. Regardless of that, the EU and nations agreed that 29,500 tons of bluefin tuna were to be fished, which is 3 times the recommended limit. Regardless of the inflated fishing limits, 61,000 tons of tuna were actually caught. Farmed fish. First looked at as a reliever on the strain put on wild fish. Regardless, however, it is just another way of looking at death. Most farmed fish are carnivorous, meaning they need to eat other wild fish, once again putting a strain on wild fish. Aquaculture is basically turning low-value small fish into higher-value bigger ones. That is not decreasing the amount of fish. As a result of so, 5 kilograms of fish are needed to produce 1 kilogram of farmed salmon. To add, these fish are cared for with chemical inputs such as antibiotics, antifluents, and pesticides. These chemicals have health-related issues towards both people and marine organisms. Also, diseases passed through farmed fish present a challenge to wild fish. Furthermore, it is not surprising that not everything runs smoothly at these farms. Escaping fish can result in crossbreeding between local wild stocks and the farmed fish. By this occurring, it is altering the genetic diversity.
To control overfishing, the coral reefs must be better protected and sustainable fishing regulations must be forcefully implemented. To do this, toll posts must be built around the reefs. Boats and fishermen will be required to stop at these posts before entering the fishing areas. There will be employees that stop these boats and confiscate any explosives the fishermen may have. They will also be confiscating large nets to avoid bycatch and trawling, which is extremely harmful to the biodiversity. Furthermore, they will be giving fishermen restrictions on how many fish they can catch and keep from one species. Then they will be checking to make sure that the restrictions are being fished within. As to not cause a severe decline in the profit made from fishing, fishermen with company permission can have wider restrictions. Building the toll posts requires funds, and so does paying the salary of the people who run them. To get access to these funds, we would like to collaborate with NGOs that focus on coral reef exploitation and get their investment in building and paying salaries. Some of the NGOs that would be asked to invest would be the Canadian Wildlife Foundation, the Environmental Defence Fund, Greenpeace Canada, and Sea Shepherd Conservation Society. Another way to collect funds is by campaigning for this cause on social media and promoting donations from all around the world. Another benefit of this plan is the amount of people it will employ to run the posts and the amount of employees needed to build them.